In this episode of The Trend Talk, we speak to actress Vannessa Vasquez about her leading roles in 2 films. Then, Belle interviews newcomer and soon-to-be major star Diego Calva on his starring role in Babylon. It's Cheeseman time in our trending topics as we talk infidelity and being the other woman. Welcome to The Trend Talk. We are your host, Val Hernandez.
And Liza Monet Morales.
And we have an amazing show here on The Trend Talk, as usual.
We are so excited to welcome back Vannessa Vasquez, who will be spilling the tea all on her latest film, Divorce Bait, which is all about infidelity and the bounds we go to in order to avoid it or rebound after it. Now, before we get to that, I have to ask you, Val, have you ever been cheated on?
Well, I'll tell you this, I was the other woman once. Yes, but I ain't spilling the tea on this one, because what I really want to know is Vannessa Vasquez and her character and how cheating had something to do with the storyline. I'm so excited, so wait just a bit. We'll be right back with Vannessa Vasquez.
Today's guest grew up in Richmond, Texas, and began her career at a young age in Houston. Now, in 2014, Vannessa Vasquez became one of the lead actresses in Hulu's East Los High, which was the very first English language Hulu series with an all-Latino cast. She played Camila Barrios, a Mexican teenager dealing with the trials and tribulations of growing up in East Los Angeles. Now, we're excited to have her back here on The Trend Talk to talk to us all about her latest project, Divorce Bait.
Divorce Bait is on the premise of staging a fake divorce to prove a point, and it goes a bit haywire, and our guest, Vannessa Vasquez, is going to tell us all about that. So welcome, Vannessa, to The Trend Talk.
Hi, thanks for having me again.
Yes!
We're so excited to have you back. Now, Vannessa, as I mentioned, we all fell in love with you on East Los High, and what a journey that has been. But we would love to know what the cameras didn't pick up. What has your journey been since East Los finished to now, and what you're doing, especially now as a lead actress in a rom-com film?
Yeah, I mean, getting off a TV show, you always kind of have that stereotype, right, of whatever you were playing. You know, like a lot of the Saved by the Bell kids kind of experienced that. You know, Screech was always going to be Screech, you know, Zach and AC Slater. And so I think a lot of us were kind of detaching from the character and who we were, how people saw us, right? That we're more than just the character that we played for 4 or 5 years, however long it was for some of us. But yeah, it's been a journey, but I've been able to get on guest stars and play different characters, which I love because I didn't get to do that before. And you know, yeah, just now I'm doing rom-coms, which is exciting because it's crazy how that happened. I was doing a stand-up comedy. I did stand-up for about 2 years, which I just wanted to get out there and try something different as an artist, as an actor, as an entertainer. And then, yeah, they saw my stand-up reel. And somebody referred me to the directors and the producers. They're like, this is the girl we've been looking for, and she does stand-up comedy. So yeah, I ended up on Divorce Bait because of my stand-up reel.
Who would have thought? Yeah. I mean, here's to say, you know, especially as an actor myself too, everyone's like, go to class and pitch and network and do this and do that. I love that you actually followed another pursuit of yours, which had nothing to do with your main thing, which was to do stand-up, and then the job found you.
Yeah.
And now I want to know about Divorce Bait because it's a very interesting premise, but what made your character decide to stage this Divorce Bait scenario, and how did you go about it, and what did you think of that?
Well, it was kind of like she already has her own insecurities from experiencing her own divorce, and then, you know, now she's in a new relationship, she's happy, but then she's seeing some of her friends also going through divorce, but their friends are hitting on their friends that are going through divorce, and she's like, wait a minute.
But set it up though. I was gonna say, for those that don't know, haven't seen the trailer yet, you know, set it up. What is actually the Divorce Bait plan?
So the Divorce Bait is that she pretends to get a divorce, and she posts it on Facebook, social media, that her and her husband are getting a divorce, just to see which one of her friends are gonna go after him.
I am sorry for what you both are experiencing at home.
Okay, I think we're done here.
We're getting a divorce?
What did you do?
What did you do?
I am not losing another man to one of these backstabby hoes.
Relax, Cardi B. You're not gonna lose me.
Have you ever seen that happen? Because I kind of have not fully out, but you do feel the sense that they kind of like swoop in and go, hi, whether it's not outright, you know, like, but it's like insinuation.
Oh my God, that's happened to me before.
Really?
Yeah, when I've broken up with someone, then all of a sudden girls that I thought were my friends were like trying to hit on my boyfriend. I'm like, what the? Oh my God.
Wait. It's supposed to be girls before bros. Like,
Yeah,
what?
I'm like, what happened to girl code?
Violation of the girl code. I'm not here for it.
Exactly.
Now, Vanessa, I have to ask you, the idea of divorce bait, though, in theory, does sound like it could work, especially if you have girls that are being seedy, like some of these friends you were talking about, or ex-friends. But do you think that's something that you would actually consider in real life if you were asked by your partner to do it?
I would definitely say no. I mean, I would not. I don't think I would like put something out there like a divorce bait. I'd be like, no, we're not doing that.
Let's talk about another project that you have, which is the new Disney National Treasure, the series.
Yeah.
You star alongside Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Well, Catherine Zeta-Jones is in it. I don't have any scenes with her, but my scenes are mostly with Alejandro Eda, which is from Narcos. He played El Chapo.
Where did you get that necklace?
It was my dad's. He died when I was a baby.
What is it? That's the symbol on your necklace.
I know.
What if I told you everything you know about your dad is a lie?
It was a lot of fun. The scenes were very Disney. Like it was experiencing. I felt like I was in a live version of Encanto. I was like, oh my God, everything's so colorful on this set, and even the way the cameras was shot, as it felt very like Disney magical. So it was a beautiful experience.
We also hear that you're the love interest of musical giant himself, Luis Fonsi, in the movies.
In Answer to My Prayer.
Answer to My
right?
Prayers,
That's
yeah.
the one you just wrapped, right, in San Antonio?
In San Antonio.
Tell us about that and what the premise of that is.
Wow, that one was really exciting too. It was. It's crazy because I'm from Houston, right? I grew up in Richmond, Houston area, and a lot of people from San Antonio, Houston, they travel to each other's cities like on the weekends or for little weekend getaways. And I used to always go there with my grandma and my family. And so to go back to San Antonio, which is like such a romance city already.
Yes.
It's very romantic. The carriages all around downtown. The whole like
The vibe.
Tejano vibe, right? This is like the first Tejano rom-com. Like growing up in the Tejano culture, like I never in my wildest dreams ever thought like I would see something like this come alive. Yet, you know, or to even be the lead in it, you know? So it was amazing experience to go back home and like film this story with Luis Fonsi, he was so amazing, like so humble and funny and silly, and he's a good actor. He's such a great actor. And I was like, someone told me you were just like starting out. He's like, no, this is my first romantic comedy. I was like, oh, okay, so you're an actor.
I got this.
So it was we had great chemistry, it was easy flow, and you know found little things here and there to make the scenes creative. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We got to ride around like San Antonio and just make a love story in the city that's already about love and romance.
Now, what I love about this movie, The Answer to My Prayer, which you just wrapped, it's actually with the same team from Divorce Bait. So how did that come to be?
It just so happened that, you know, they needed an actress as well that was from Texas. You know, they wanted someone with authentic Tejano vibe and accent, or, you know, someone that can pull out the twang if needed. So, yeah, it was.
And in the Hollywood fashion, I mean, you have these great directors that always work with the same team because they know the talent, they know they can deliver. And Patrick Perez and Cristina Nava and Nancy de los Santos, who wrote this.
Yeah.
But Patrick and Cristina, they're the ones that did the first Divorce Bait with you at the lead.
Yeah.
And then they decided to give you this lead.
Yeah.
And just like I said, in Hollywood fashion, we work with who we know can deliver.
For sure.
Right.
And you're making a star at the same time because the roles have to be there so that the actress can shine.
Right.
And I think you're shining in both.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel very, very grateful and blessed. And both of the projects, we had so much fun. And working with Patrick, he's such a, what is it called? Actor's director.
Yes,
That's the word I was
yes.
looking for. He's such an actor's director that he allows you to find your creativity in the scene. And if you have an idea, he's like, what do you think? You know, and, you know, we work with each other's ideas. And Divorce Bait, Christina was one of the writers as well. So, you know, because I also wrote jokes, you know, something came up, I was like, hey, what about this? You know, she's like, let's try it. You know, it was like we were able to have that creative collaboration with them on set. So I think being able to have that with directors and writers, with all of us together, I think that's when you can really create like beautiful art, you know, and something that's fun, not something that feels rigid and scary. And I think that's why Divorce Bait has that, it feels like fun. So yeah, it's, I feel really happy that for both of these projects, and I can't wait for everyone to see them.
Okay, so where can we see them? Well, where can we see Divorce Bait?
So Divorce Bait you can see on all digital platforms right now, video on demand, and Answer to My Prayers, I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, that one's coming up. You just wrapped, so it's probably going to be next year sometime, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, Val is so excited. She's not even letting me get in a word edgewise here with you, but I'm pumped. I would love to know, what advice would you give your younger self, right? Especially for Latinas out there that are looking to break into the industry, you know, that much like you said, a lot of times people get on a show and then we never see them again, or they can't find that break in. So what advice would you give, especially as we're seeing the industry change so much? We're seeing more leads be Latinx or Latinas, you know, I love the representation. How would you say, you know, you would champion someone to move forward?
I would say stay positive, like keep a positive. One of my favorite quotes that I remember a long time ago was from Selena Quintanilla. One thing that I remember her saying in one of her interviews was like, I don't have time to think negative. Right.
I love
she
that.
said, because there's already so much against her, right? She knew that there was so much already against her as a woman, as a Latina, as a woman of color, you know, and it was like, and the Tejano world, you know, there wasn't a lot of women who were doing it. So, and I think about it, I'm like, wow, I could find a million reasons why I wouldn't get picked for a certain project or why I can't be successful. Anybody can, right? Yeah. We can sit there and focus on all these things, but that doesn't serve us. And I feel like one of the things that helped me out was I watched The Law of Attraction, The Secret. And yes. I remember reading the book. I remember watching the movie. And to me, I was like, oh my God, you can literally create your own life, you know? But we didn't grow up like that, right? We didn't grow up with The Secret, with the Law of Attraction. Watch what you say, watch what you speak, watch your words, what you think about, you create, you attract, you know? Sure. It's hard to reprogram the mind. And so I would just say, honestly, like, I've been there, you know, I feel like one of the reasons why I got success so fast was because I had that mindset when I got here. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anything about the Latino industry. Because there wasn't opportunities where I was back home like there is here to be able to feel the oppression, right? So I was very, I guess, naive, right, to a lot of the stereotypes and stuff like that. I was just focused on, I have to do this. I have a vision. I'm supposed to be a lead on a show. I'm not sure what show it is, but I just got to do it. I have vision board, pray, work.
Did you have that in your vision board?
Yeah,
I did. It works, everybody.
Yeah. And I was like every single day just working. Like I had gotten a scholarship at Stella Adler. I don't even know how I applied. You know, everything. I was manifesting a lot of things for like 2 years straight. And then after the show happened, and I started, you know, really auditioning, and I started getting into this mode of like, I started feeling the rejection, the stereotypes, all these things. And I started getting into that negative talk, into that negative, oh my God, this, oh, I'm not booking because of that, or I'm not booking because of this. And then I started noticing that I wasn't working, and I was like, oh my God. And so it became a mission for me to find out, what did I do in the beginning that really worked, that I need to keep doing. And so I just went back to it. I was like, okay, what was I doing? I remember all I did was focus and work and, you know, stay on this. And then I read the Law of Attraction again, The Secret, and I just started changing my mindset. I started becoming very careful about the things I was speaking, my affirmations. And I was like, look, we can find, I was like, I don't know what's going on in this world, but all I know is one thing is that we have something working for us.
Yes.
And that's an energy, right? That doesn't discriminate. It doesn't care who you are, what you look like. If you set your mind to it and if you ask for things and you focus on your energy or vibration, you'll eventually start to attract those things. And that's why, I mean, I would love to tell that to people that it works.
It totally does. I think just the power of reprogramming your neural pathways makes such a huge impact. And we can see it in your success. Vannessa, thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited.
Thank you.
We cannot wait to watch you not only in Divorce Bait, but of course, The Answer to Your Prayers. And before that on TV as well. And I mean, Vannessa, where can people follow you online?
Vanessita V. Vanessita with 2 N's and 2 S's.
I love it. All right, you all. Well, thank you once again, Vannessa. And you at home, please don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Coming up next, in his first major Hollywood film, Diego Calva talks about starring alongside Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie in the much-anticipated film Babylon. Stay tuned. Diego, welcome to the Trend Talk. We're so excited to speak with you.
Thank you so much.
Well, what an amazing movie to be involved in. I mean, the name and what the topic is, I want to know about it. So can you tell our audience in a few words, if you were to say, who is Manny Torres? Can you explain who Manny Torres is in the story?
I think Manny Torres is a young dreamer, a young Mexican dreamer that is in love with the movies. He just wants to be part of anything related to movies. And he's also a very hard worker. So I think he's going to make it.
Great. And were you aware of the history of Hollywood and Mexican Americans in that time era? Like Ramon Novarro, are you aware of?
Yeah. With Ramon Novarro, but Dolores del Rio, for example. So there were like a couple, but I didn't have like a face for a Mexican successful producer, for example, or director. Late 30s and in the 40s, of course. I mean, it's the golden age of Mexican cinema. Yes. But like in the 20s and in the silence, I found, for example, René Cardona.
Yes.
He was a Cuban producer, an actor too, I think. But that was something very cool and very special, like to put a face into that time period for a Mexican successful person that dedicated to movies, you know?
So tell me, this is a big movie. You're in this beautiful cast, led by Margot Robbie and then Brad Pitt. What was the most exciting part of working with them and doing a movie that is really going to be a major attraction?
Wow, every day was just wild and amazing. And I think that I'm going to remember always my first chemistry reading with Margot. That maybe is not in the movie, but it was one of the most special days in my life because I felt the connection and Damien saw it. And I think I got the role because of that casting, that reading.
Wonderful. Now, I want to ask you a question about Babylon, and there's a lot of corruption, a lot of craziness going on. So does Manny get into that? Does he go down that road, or does he stay clean and focused?
I think if you want something, you have to pay for it. So any kind of success or glory comes with a price. That's only I'm going to say.
Wow, that's quite a tease.
If you could go anywhere in the whole world, where would you go?
I always want to be part of something bigger.
Yes.
Let's go! Something that lasts, that means something.
How long did you shoot, and did you really get to be, like they say, a family when you work together?
Well, yeah, because Damien gave me a lot of time for preparation. So for me, it was like an 8 months kind of project. But we shot for 4 months. For 4 months, but I had another 4 for preparation. So of course, Damien is part of my family, and I hope he says the same thing about me.
So where did you shoot? Around LA? In LA? Yes, you did?
Everything was in LA and like places near LA, like Santa Clarita, and places like that. Yeah, but it's like about LA actually, the movie. So
Yes.
it was shot there. Yeah.
What can you tell audiences that are going to go see this? What is going to be their experience?
I think Babylon is a roller coaster. So just get yourself into it and enjoy the ride. It's like all the feelings that you can feel in 3 hours, like a capsule.
It's 3 hours long.
3 hours long.
Yes. It's quite an epic. And what are some of the characters in there that we can say, oh, they must be talking about so-and-so. They must be talking about so-and-so. Are we going to be able to make those connections?
I think a lot of characters in Babylon orbitate or are kind of based in actual person, actual actresses and actual actors or directors. But in the end, it's a fiction, you know? So it's just like an homage sometimes. So this guy or this actress.
And what do they say back home in Mexico? You are in one of the biggest films in Hollywood, and what is the reaction from the friends, from your coworkers?
Well, I can tell you about my mother.
Okay,
My mother is like so happy, like every day. She's my best friend. So for me and her, it's like every day a new experience, you know, every day is like something new, a new city, a new situation, meeting a lot of people. So I'm just so glad that I can give her this happiness, this joy, because I really see her and she's just so excited for me and so happy for me. So, yeah.
So she's traveling with you to different screenings and different activities for the film?
She's coming with me to the LA premiere. She's the guest of honor of the premiere, of course, first row. But no, she's not able to come with me to all the places. But believe me, every day in the morning and every night, we have a little call. Sometimes little is 10 minutes, sometimes it's 6 hours.
That's great. So what do you see yourself, doing right after this movie? Going to the Oscars next year?
I guess I will be a guest for sure. No, at least.
For sure. Well, we hope that you are. We're so excited, and for you to be the third lead. I know that a lot of Latinos have been wanting to see ourselves in big movies like this with starring roles, and you are a fine example. Thanks to all the producers and the studio for putting you there, and we will be looking for you and going in mass to watch Babylon.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Goodbye. Hasta luego. Gracias.
Bye. So welcome back. We have a special treat. Vanessa decided to stay because she heard all about the chisme coming up on the trending topics. So we are glad you're here because it's always fun to do more than one person with chisme.
Yes, of course. I mean, come on, we're Latinas, we love to talk, right? So now what you missed from at the top of the show, I had asked Val if she's ever been cheated on, and she left me with the cliffhanger. So Val, I have to ask, spill the tea. Have you ever been cheated on? But more importantly, what's this about you being the other woman?
Yes, in high school. I was the other woman, and that's how I felt because I was going out with this guy that I totally loved. Well, liked. You don't love in high school. Anyway, right, puppy love.
Yes.
And, he was like the guy I liked so much. And he would always take me out, but he would always take me out to like a hot dog stand, never to any like high school dances or where people. Nothing public. We'd go smooch up on the hill, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And I find out he has another girl, and that was his girlfriend. Everybody knew that was his girlfriend.
Everyone but you.
Everyone but me.
In the same high school?
In the same high school.
Oh, wow.
Because we were in different little crowds. And so like when I found out, I was like so heartbroken. But in retrospect, I really thank him because when that happened, I was like, I'm going to Mexico, I'm going to go study dance. And so I left. If not, I would have been in love with 6 children and like I would have been playing second fiddle because once people do that to you, it never really goes away.
Right,
they might do it again. I wasn't about to take the back seat. And so I'm glad.
And look and you found your rey. You're king, you're Prince Charming, which is great. So they say everything happens for a reason. So I'm glad that you ended up getting your happy ending. Now, Vanessa, I have to ask, you're here, so you're in the hot seat. Have you ever been the other woman?
Yes, but I didn't know it was the other woman.
What?
Yeah. He
See,
was
the
like,
other woman never knows.
He had some other chick pregnant.
Oh my God.
It was terrible. She like reached out to me on Instagram and was like, are you dating so-and-so? And I was like, yeah. She's like,
Wait, you found out on socials?
She DM'd me and she sent me all the pictures. And then she's like, are you really with them? I was like, yeah, I am. And I sent her pictures. And then I broke up with him because I was like,
What did he say? Did you confront him? What did he say?
Yeah, he was like, he didn't say anything at all.
They never do. They never do.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, they were together 2 weeks after I broke up with him.
But
my
hey,
gosh, good
here you
riddance,
are, the lead in 2 films, and you would have been back in Houston, and so
He probably would have knocked me up, you know?
Exactly.
This is what I'm saying.
It seemed like he was careless, and I was like,
no, and it's like the saying goes, God's rejection, or no, it's rejection is God's redirection, right? So I'm here for all that redirection, except
take me somewhere else.
Right? Right? Oh my gosh. And I can only wait to see what you end up manifesting in your partners. Now, we do want to know for you at home, have you ever been cheated on, or have you unexpectedly ever been the other woman? Let us know. Follow us over on Instagram and of course on Facebook at The Trend Talk Show, and leave us a comment and let us know if you have advice for any of us to make sure that we don't ever get set up like that again.
And remember, at The Trend Talk, if it's trending,
we're talking. We'll see you next time. Bye.
llenos de